The legislation governing hazardous substances and dangerous goods necessitates that all tasks and tests, including unsafe materials, must have documentation demonstrating an assessment of the risk involved and the usage of controls to limit introduction or possibility of an emergency. A risk assessment ought to recognize potential dangers and decide the activities or controls required to kill or diminish any dangers to the well-being of laborers. Doing a risk assessment of an experiment requires three straightforward advances. Identify the dangers and issues related with the substances and errands. Assess the dangers of introduction to the hazard. Control the risk by usage of methods and safety measures.
The risk assessment checklist at Biochemistry Laboratory of UNIMAS contains main 13 sections, which are laboratory design, gas cylinders, chemicals, refrigerators, freezers or cold room, electrical equipment, personal protective equipment, waste management, occupational health and safety program available, general engineering controls, general practices and procedures, general laboratory housekeeping, and finally, fire protection.
Based on the risk assessment checklist findings at Biochemistry Laboratory, it is found out that the laboratory have a proper signage and the equipment is properly labeled. As for its design, it is built for easy cleaning with plenty of storage space. The benchtop is also waterproof and resistant to heat and chemicals. Next, for compressed gas cylinders, all are secured. However, there is no designated ventilated rooms for hazardous gases. This should be implemented to handle a compressed and hazardous gases. Inside the biochemistry laboratory, all materials containing carcinogen and biohazards are labeled externally. There is no cold room in the laboratory, and one should be implemented as it is useful to maintain a precise and consistent level of temperature and humidity. For electrical equipment, there is no overloaded extension cords. However, there is electrical connection in wet areas nearby the sink. The electrical connections should be placed far away from the source of water. The personal protective equipment such as eye wash and safety shower are available in this laboratory. The only thing that is not there is personal protective equipment for cryogenic storage, as cryogenic substances is not used. Waste management is properly practiced as waste segregation is implemented. The chemicals and biohazard wastes are properly labeled and disposed correctly. For occupational health and safety program, there is respiratory protection, first aid kit as well as emergency response plan. The chemical and biological spill kit should be implemented to confine and limit the spill with reduced risk of injury and contamination. For general engineering controls, there is availability of sink used for hand washing and good water purification system. For the general laboratory housekeeping, the laboratory floor is not free from trip hazards with wire become an obstruction. The wire should be properly placed. Besides, the pest control program should also be implemented as skin health to prevent a contamination as well as to maintain cleanliness inside the laboratory. Lastly, the fire protection is equipped in the laboratory with the availability of adequate fire extinguisher along with fire alarm available.
Laboratory work risk assessment in the biochemistry laboratory have identified the dangers and issues related with the substance and errors, such as there is electric connection in wet area nearby sink. Moreover, for the assessing the dangers of introduction to the hazards in the biochemistry lab, there is general practices and procedures as well as respiratory protections, first aid kit and emergency plan to be followed. In conclusion, the biochemistry laboratory successful passed the laboratory work risk assessment and good to be used.